Hello, welcome back. Today I was going to show an update for a couple weapons. Was the original plan, but I've been a little busy. Last time I showed the dagger and the sword, these two weapons up here. The mace was actually already implemented. Compared to the dagger and the dagger and the sword don't have much knockback. They have more speed and are damage oriented. The mace here has as much damage as the dagger, but is slower than the dagger, has a little more reach. So kind of like a shorter range sword, except it has more knockback and less damage. A middle point between the dagger and the sword with knockback, I guess, would be the best way to put it. I also worked on adding in my 3 ranged weapons that I've planned, and I actually have a utility weapon here, which is a grappling hook that I will show at the end. But first you have a slingshot, which just shoots a small, fast projectile. No damage, just for knockback, in case you ever need to juggle an enemy or something like that. I thought it would be a nice utility weapon to have that actually does no damage. Next, there is the bow down here, and the bow shoots arrows. The hitbox for the arrow is just the little black area at the end of the arrow, and so essentially just the arrowhead. And those do 2 damage, so equivalent damage to the sword. And the end plan is eventually I'll load in an ammo system for at least for the arrows and the bombs. And so that way you'll have a good capability for damage through arrows and bombs. The arrows being a fast, fairly accurate way to deal damage, and also that poses no risk to yourself. Whereas the bombs, actually, if you get too close to them, will hurt you. They do a 5 damage, so you'll notice that knocks off 5 chunks of your health. That's a third of your max health. It's pretty significant damage. And so those bombs, you throw them, and if they collide with an enemy, they'll detonate. If they collide with a wall, they will detonate early. Otherwise, they'll fly to your destination point and blow up. They still need a little bit of tweaking. Seems like they're flying past the destination a bit, but you get the gist of them. Fairly slow, long-range AOE weapon, and those would have a limit on their quantity as well, and that's to kind of balance out how strong they are. But you can't just drop a bomb right next to you if an enemy's getting close and you need a lot of damage fast, because they do 5 damage, about 2.5 times that of the sword or the bow, because they will also blow you up, and right there you die. So that was the ranged weapons and the mace. And last, the grappling hook here was just a quick thing I threw in tonight. But there's a tiny little black hook that you may or may not actually be able to see, and that shoots out to the walls and yanks the player around. Right now, if it collides with an enemy, it just gives them a little knockback, and also isn't completely perfect yet, but you get the general gist. You shoot and it yanks, and that's about it.